Namaste. This is Ramesh Lamisane, your host for the special educational talk show in Matra Education. Today we are here at Radisson Hotel Kathmandu with a very special guest. We are talking about abroad study, especially being focused on Canada. We'll be talking on how Canada will be a good destination for Nepali students. How can Canada provide good and quality education to Nepali students and secure their future with a very special guest. Let's go and find out who he is. So I'll begin with the introduction of my guest. I request him to introduce himself.
Namaste. This is Divakar Sharma. I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant based in Kitchener, Ontario, Canada. I'm here in Kathmandu, Nepal to meet with the local Nepali students and prospective immigrants who want to come to Canada. And I'm here to discuss about education abroad, especially to the public universities and colleges of Canada.
So before we begin, let me welcome you to Nepal. As you mentioned, the country of Pashupatinath and the country of Mount Everest. At the same time, let me take this opportunity to welcome you in the show, the special educational talk show of Matra Education.
Thank you very much for welcoming me on your special education show on Mantra Education. And I am very thankful that this is an opportunity given to me. I would like to interact with you and provide maximum information to your viewers.
So let's begin with your aim to visit Nepal.
See, I'm originally from India, and Nepal is the bordering state, bordering country. So there's a friendly relationship between India and Nepal, and I've always had a special space, special place for the Nepali citizens in my heart. So I feel that there's an opportunity for us to provide information to the Nepali students about career opportunities, education opportunities in Canada, because Canada is the country where I live. I've chosen it as my country of citizenship. So I feel the students from Nepal should try to learn more about the options available for them and look at Canada as a destination to move.
So can you please clarify our viewers, why is Canada a good destination for Nepali students?
Okay. Overall, students try to go to Canada or US, Australia, New Zealand. All of these countries provide good education standards for the students. Canadian education is also of top quality in the world. When we compare it with the other countries, the tuition fee is lower for international students in comparison to Australia or US. And the working rights given to international students are much more flexible for the international students. So as an international student, they're allowed to work 20 hours during the week while they're studying. They can work full-time during their vacation time. And depending on the duration of their program, they're eligible to get an open postgraduate work permit, which makes it very attractive for international students to choose Canada as a destination for enhancing their education.
So can you please introduce your company?
Okay. So I am a regulated Canadian immigration consultant, and my company's name is Divakar Immigration Services Incorporation. Under this company, we provide immigration services of all kinds, starting from permanent residence to Canada, study permit, work permit, to dependent sponsorship, to parent sponsorship, and all of those options are available. Even services are available in terms of post-landing services. If students need things like searching for job opportunities, they are also provided.
So can I know what do these registered consultants do, especially?
Okay. So Canadian immigration works in a very planned way. So there is an organization called ICCRC. Their job is to give license to professionals like me. We have to undergo a special training. It's a one-year program in immigration practitioners program. So we all have to study that. It includes all different aspects of immigration law and norms. So we go through those. And once we finish the program, then we have to appear for the licensing examination. So anyone who qualifies the license gets the designation RCIC, which is a regulated Canadian immigration consultant. So anyone who is a RCIC works under the parameter given by the ICCRC, and they follow the rules and regulations, and they provide the best possible services. to the prospective immigrants in any form, be it temporary immigration or permanent immigration.
So what's the difference between going through a RCIC registered consultant and someone others?
So going through a RCIC is actually in benefit of the applicant, because when you are applying for any kind of visa for Canada, you can go and check the status of the immigration consultant through the directory available from ICCRC. And if the immigration consultant is not giving you the right service, you will be able to go to ICCRC and raise objection and complaint about that particular consultant. Whereas if you're going through someone else who does not have any licensing, does not have any standing, does not understand the law, you're playing with your own future. So going with an RCIC is actually beneficial for the applicants.
I was surprised when you said that there's no education minister in Canada and the province government, the state government looks after education. Can you please clarify?
Okay, so education is not a federal policy, so it's managed by the provinces. So every province has Minister of Training and Community Colleges or Minister of Education, but that remains at a state level, not at the national level.
So you're representing your company, and your company not only works for the students, international students, but for others as well. Can you please mention?
Yes. So the services which we provide include express entry, provincial nomination program. Let's say there is someone in Nepal who already has a bachelor's degree or a master's degree, has 2 to 3 years of experience, and now wants to move to Canada. We can help them create their profile, which will be called express entry profile. It goes into the system, and they get points, and the points are given on the basis of their education, on the basis of their age, on the level of proficiency in English, and their work experience. So Canada needs immigrants, but Canada has the right to choose what kind of immigrants they want. So younger you are, better the chances are for you to get your permanent residence in Canada. So my company can help you secure PR. We can help you apply, and if everything goes as per the norm, you should be able to see yourself in Canada.
In the interaction program that we just finished, you talked about public colleges and the universities. So it seems quite different from Nepal. Can you mention the difference between public colleges and the universities, also mentioning how an international student can be benefited by the both?
Okay. So public colleges and universities both are operated under the mandate by the government. So colleges are called community colleges in Canada, and these community colleges, they are providing hands-on training and experience to the students. Most of the community colleges, they will issue a diploma or a certificate, an advanced diploma, or a few bachelor's degrees. And all community colleges are stand-alone institutions, so they don't work under affiliation with any university. They work under the Ministry of Training, Colleges and Universities, and they're able to give those credentials. Whereas universities, they are broader, so universities can give bachelor's degrees, master's, PhD, and postdoc degrees, whereas colleges, they are unable to give any of the master's or PhD or those kind of qualifications.
So which do you think is better for Nepali students, a public college or a university?
I will say both are good. The public colleges, the community colleges are also good, and the universities. It depends on the individual student's need. If you already have a bachelor's degree and you want to enhance your education, you have an option of taking a postgraduate certificate from a community college. Because after a degree, you go to a college for a 1-year postgraduate certificate, you will get professional training, which will be hands-on, which will help you to get into the job market. If you're going to Canada after grade 12, it's highly recommended you try to go for a university and get a bachelor's degree from there. If in future you want to go for a master's program or a PhD program, then getting a degree is always advised.
So what about the fee structure and scholarship opportunities in Canada?
So the fee structure varies from province to province and institution to institution. Most of the community colleges, their tuition fee would be in the range of $15,000 to $17,000 per year. Whereas for certain universities, I'll talk about Ontario, the tuition fee can vary from $32,000 per year to up to $70,000 per year. So when a student, or I should say when a family, because in Asia the decision makers are the parents, right? So when they're deciding about their child's future, they need to look into the finance, the budgeting option. So sometimes the colleges are the best option for them, or they can choose for universities in some other provinces where the tuition fee is lower. So one of the university I mentioned about was University of Prince Edward Island, and that is in the province of Prince Edward Island itself. It's the only public university in a small province, and it's highly subsidized by the government, and due to that the tuition fee for the international students is also lower. So if we compare the tuition fee of University of Prince Edward Island to a community college, it's almost similar. So you can get into a degree program by paying about $17,000 per year, which is the fee of a community college.
I was also willing to know about the scholarship opportunities available.
Yeah, so scholarships in Canada in general are tied to the academic performance of the student. So that could be from $500 to $5,000, and in certain categories it can go up to $10,000 as well.
So you talked about internship opportunities and also co-op. This may be a new term for Nepali students.
Right.
Can you clarify?
Okay. So when we say internship, that means you are actually working for someone and you're getting experience, but you're not getting paid for that time when you're working in an internship. Co-op is like cooperative education, experiential learning. Under co-op, when you're placed, or universities do have a co-op department, they will share the list of the employers on panel. Students will go through the interview process. Once they're successful, they work in these organizations literally as their employees, and they get paid for working on a co-op. And the best part is, if you're on a co-op and you perform really well, most of the organizations, the companies, they end up offering full-time jobs to these students.
So what determines whether we get internship or co-op?
It depends on the program. It's not a choice for the student. So it depends on what degree or diploma you're going in.
Which course are you taking?
Yes, at the time of taking admission, you can see either there is a component of co-op or there is a component of internship. We have to keep one thing in mind, that not every program can have a co-op, right? So while doing your application process, if you're interested in a co-op, then you should apply to multiple institutions, and you'll be successful in getting your admissions.
As you mentioned earlier, the dream of Nepalese students, or let's say international students, the dream is to get settled in countries like Canada and get PR. So what about the PSW visas?
Okay, so Canada at the moment is very liberal when it comes to postgraduate work permit. So if you study 2 years, you can get 3-year work permit. So the maximum duration of work permit given to an international student is 3 years.
3 years.
Right? One academic year in Canada is considered 8 months. So if you studied 8 months in Canada, then you will get an 8 months work permit only. So if you completed a 3-year diploma, you get a 3-year work permit. You completed a bachelor's degree, you still get a 3-year work permit.
So what do you suggest the Nepali students who want to be settled in Canada, getting PR, in course of selecting their course, or let's say getting PSW, or let's say the longer one with 3 years?
I'll say getting permanent residence is a privilege, and it depends on the rules and regulations of the country. So at the moment, they're very flexible. We don't know how these can change in the future, but I will always recommend, if you intend to gain work experience, and in future if you feel that Canada is a place you would like to settle down, then you should take admission in a program for minimum 2 years in duration, so that once you're in the country, after completion of that program, you will secure a 3-year work permit.
So you are representing 2 universities in Nepal, University of Prince Edward Island and University of Northern British Columbia. So can you give a short introduction to both of the universities?
Yeah. So both these universities are unique. They're both small universities, very niche market-oriented universities. University of Prince Edward Island in itself includes a lot of programs, a lot more programs than many other institutions. So students can choose from business administration, journalism, to engineering, to island studies, or all the way to veterinarian science or radiography programs. So much more options there. And the chances of them getting jobs remain higher. And if someone finishes a degree from that particular province, their chances of even securing PR is higher in comparison to other institutions. University of Northern British Columbia is also a very well-known institution. It's a very research-focused institution. It's a smaller institution in terms of number of students, but the quality of education is also topmost. Anyone who's interested in engineering programs or looking for business or nursing should look at University of Northern British Columbia. It's in Prince George, and this university will offer students a unique experience through quality education.
So for international students, there can be many choices in terms of universities in Canada. Why should a particular student select universities among these two?
Okay, so I'll answer it in a way that it relates to demand and supply. So most of the international students, when we talk to, they will say they want to go to Ontario or they want to go to British Columbia. Both the provinces are very competitive. There are a lot of top known universities like University of British Columbia, Simon Fraser University, but admissions in those universities could be a little bit difficult. I'm not saying it's easy to get into UNBC or Prince Edward Island, but when we compare the fee structure, when we compare the cost of living in comparison to other institutions, it could be a bit cheaper. For any student, when they're going overseas, they have to budget their living expenses. If you're going to live in a bigger city like Vancouver, it's going to be very expensive. If you're living in Toronto, the expense would be much higher in comparison to going to either UNBC, Prince George, or to PEI. For example, if you are going to study in Toronto, renting a room in a basement in Toronto could be in the range of $600 to $800 a month.
So the living expenses are very high.
Expenses are very high. So if you're going to Prince Edward Island, you'll be able to share a room with someone for $350 to $400 a month. So there's a huge difference in the cost.
So what are the job opportunities available for international students when they complete their studies?
So mostly the jobs are available, and students should remain very active while they are studying, while they're on campus. Canadian job market depends on the networking of a particular student or candidate. So I will suggest all international students that when they are studying, they should interact with a lot more people, increase their own network. They should do volunteer work on campus, and whenever it's possible, take the co-op opportunities if they're available, or the internship, and do their job with utmost dedication. During studies, students are allowed to work 20 hours, and they're allowed to work more while they are doing their co-op. This is a chance for the students to gain access to the job market. And depending on their specializations, there are opportunities available for students.
As you talked in the interaction program, volunteering is a compulsory part of Canadian studies. Why is it so?
I won't say it's compulsory. I say it's an essential part of the Canadian culture, because by volunteering, we are giving back to the society, right? So when we are volunteering, we are working as a volunteer because we want to contribute into a particular section of the area where we live in.
To serve the society we're living in.
To serve the society we're living in. You can volunteer at the Diabetic Society of Canada. You can work at an old age home where you can give company to seniors. There are multiple opportunities available, and by doing volunteer work, the youngsters, they get an opportunity to interact with people and gain valuable experiences. Sometimes life experiences come through volunteer work.
So what are the things that Nepali students should keep in mind before going to Canada?
Do your research. I'll say try to find as much information as possible about the institution, university, or college you want to go to. Try to match your expectations, keep them realistic. When you're moving to a new country, it's going to be a different culture. You have to be open. You need to learn about that culture. When a student goes to a new country, they go through different stages in going to a new culture. There could be a honeymoon stage also to a stage where you don't like being in a new society.
Yeah.
So you have to be very open. Many of the young kids, they don't know how to cook. So when they're far away, they're going to miss the food from their homeland. So if you have decided that you're going to overseas to study, now is the time for you to learn cooking. Stand with your mother in the kitchen, learn how to cook your favorite dishes, so that when you're overseas, you can cook and feed yourself.
That means you try to be independent.
Totally, you need to be. And it will help the student because they can fulfill their basic needs. You cannot go outside and eat at a restaurant every day. Things are going to be very expensive. So if you know the art of cooking, you'll feed yourself, and food is the best tool to make friends also. So if you're living in the residence and you have friends from different parts of the world, probably you cook together, and that's where your friendship will last forever.
I don't know whether it is a rumor or a fact. If I am mistaken, please correct me. It is said that visa rates are comparatively lower in Canada than other countries.
I'm not sure where these facts are coming from. I haven't seen them. Canada welcomes international students. Every year, the country is taking over 400,000 international students to come to Canada and study. It's the understanding of the visa process which a lot of people don't have.
The consultancies of Nepal, they say that Canada gives you the refusal cases more than the acceptance.
I will say, because it's quite possible that most of the agents here, they have been recruiting students and sending them to Australia and to other countries. So they are more aware of the pattern of visa processes for Australia, but not of Canada. I will suggest all these people to go through the seminars organized by the Canadian High Commission, if they do at any point in time, or go through the website, which is cic.gc.ca. This is the Canadian Immigration's website. There all information available on this particular portal, and you'll be able to access the maximum information you need. You can go on a page where there will be country-specific information provided as to what is an expectation from a citizen of Nepal. It would be listed on the government site.
Since you are RCIC certified consultant, and if Nepali students, they wish to go through you, how can they contact?
I trust Success Education and Mr. Prajwal Basanet. He's a good friend, and we have known each other for almost 6-7 years now. So I will recommend you to connect with him, and he can then reach out to me, because sometimes yes, I'm here to offer services. Yes, I am willing to provide you the guidance. But if you have someone based in Nepal who can be contacted directly and approached easily, so you should reach out to him first, and through him we can create your profile and help you get into the universities and colleges.
So Nepalese students can trust Success for their success.
I think so.
Anything you would like to mention in the last?
I'll say that Canada is a wonderful country. I myself am an immigrant who moved to Canada as an international student. It's going to be almost 20 years for me to be living in Canada. It's a land where opportunities are provided to every individual. You need to work. You need to work smart, and you will have to create your own path. So any student, any parent who feels that their child can avail this opportunity of going to Canada, the student should remain focused during the time they're going to study. I know the government of Canada has given the right to work during studies, but my recommendation is during the first semester, the international student should not work. And this is my reasoning of saying this, is that in the first semester, when they jump into the job market, it's difficult for them to get adjusted into the new education system. So give first 4 months and understand how the teaching pattern is there, how the education is provided, and once you're comfortable, then you look into the job market. This way you will succeed and you will not put too much pressure on yourself.
It was a very pleasant moment having you on the show. Thank you so much for the time and meaningful conversation.
I also had the pleasure to interact with you, Mr. Ramesh. Thank you very much for having me on your show.
नमस्ते, म प्रज्वल बस्नेत, सक्सेस एजुकेसन कन्सल्टेन्सीको सञ्चालक। हामीले हिजो रेडिसन होटलमा एजेन्ट मिट प्रोग्राम राखेका थियौँ, जसले क्यानाडाको इमिग्रेसन र विद्यार्थी भिजामा सहयोग गर्ने हेतुले क्यानाडाबाट 15 वर्षभन्दा बढी एजुकेसन सेक्टरमा र विद्यार्थी भिजामा सहयोग गरेर आइराख्नु भएको दिवाकर शर्मा मार्फत केही इन्फर्मेसन सेसनहरू हाम्रा एजेन्टहरूलाई दियौँ र यदि तपाईहरुलाई विद्यार्थी भिजा तथा इमिग्रेसन भिजामा एप्लाई गर्नु छ भने र केही कुरा थाहा पाउनु छ भने हामीसँग सिधै सम्पर्क गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ। हाम्रो अफिस पुतली सडक स्थापित छ र यो पुतली सडक माछापुच्छ्रे बैंकको 2 घर तल सक्सेस एजुकेसन कन्सल्टेन्सी भन्ने छ। हाम्रो सम्पर्क ठेगाना 44135117 र 9841323688 मा सम्पर्क गरेर हामीलाई भेट्न सक्नुहुन्छ। धन्यवाद।